In fact, now we believe the last 30-second countdown has begun. Let's quickly listen in to what's happening.
Minus 20 seconds. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5.
और ये सीधा आकाश की तरफ बढ़ता हुआ PSLV
plus 10 seconds.
10 के काउंटडाउन के साथ सफलतापूर्वक अपने पथ पर अग्रसर।
plus 20 seconds.
लगातार कैमरा उस दृश्य को कैप्चर करता हुआ हमारे कानों तक जोरदार गड़गड़ाहट की आवाज सुनाई पड़ती हुई रॉकेट अपने पथ पर लगातार आगे बढ़ता हुआ हमारे सफलता को एक दिशा देता हुआ।
plus 40 seconds.
ये आप बाकायदा देख सकते हैं, चूंकि आसमान बिल्कुल साफ है इसलिए एक बिल्कुल क्लियर व्यू आप रॉकेट का अपने स्क्रीन पर देख पा रहे हैं।
A very clear view of the PSLV launch. I think the sky is being very clear. We are almost 60
plus 1 minute
to the flight after the first stage has been ignited, and the stage is expected to burn up to 113 seconds. So we are at 1 minute 10 seconds right now. A very clear view of the first stage. First stage is thrusting and going.
PS1 performance.
हम लोग लगभग एक मिनट 20 सेकंड की दूरी पार कर चुके हैं और इस समय आप अपने स्क्रीन पर रेंज वर्सेस एल्टीट्यूड और ग्राउंड ट्रेस को देख पा रहे हैं। PSLV एक पूर्व नियोजित कार्यक्रम के अनुसार आगे बढ़ता हुआ।
We just heard the announcement. PS1 performance is normal. We are at 40 seconds past 1 minute, and we expect the range, 57 kilometers, altitude is around 78.6 kilometers. So second stage, during the phase of the second.
We heard the applause, Dr. Lele. So it's successful launch, and President Pranab Mukherjee also seems mighty pleased there, being there at Sriharikota to witness it.
Entire launch is of 20 minutes. What happens is that the end result of any launch is that you need to put those satellites into a correct orbit. So until and unless we don't get a confirmation that all those satellites, after around 19th minute onwards, they will start putting those satellites into various pre-designed orbits. And after those satellites reach to those orbits, then only one can really say that the launch is successful. Right now what we are witnessing is that there are 4 stages. Like I was saying that there are 4 stages for this particular PSLV launch vehicle. So after first stage, the second stage starts, the third stage starts. So when people clapped, essentially the first stage was successfully over. After that, what will happen is that there is a concept called a heat shield. That heat shield also has to drop. What happens is that when you are launching such type of a vehicle with a payload, because of the huge amount of energy and vibrations, everything, you need to keep that payload secure. So when it gets boosted up from the surface of the earth, you require a certain amount of a protection to it. Hence you got a heat shield which is associated with it. So after the first stage is over, your second stage gets ignited, and then your heat shield is dropped down. Then the second stage gets over, then the third stage gets over, then the fourth stage gets over, and after it gets over, your all 7 satellites will be put one by one into the upper levels of the atmosphere. I think around 780 kilometers onwards they will start putting them up to 794 kilometers above the Earth's surface.
So what must the scientists at Sriharikota be thinking of right now, hoping that the next 3 stages also go off smoothly? What could we, certainly if it doesn't happen, what could go wrong even at this stage? Could anything go wrong?
There could be many things, but everybody must be keeping his breath. I think they are not at the moment. They are not even वो सांस भी नहीं ले रहे होंगे. सबका पूरा focus, body tense होगी. As Dr. Lele was saying, that changeover from one stage to another is those are very critical moment. And the clap that you heard was a smooth changeover from one stage to another stage. As he was saying, a lot of load has to be shed, because if first stage is over and the fuel is exhausted in the first stage, then that has to be shed, because there's no point in carrying that much load for the next stage because you'll require much more fuel if you keep on continuing with the shell itself. So those stages, changeover is very critical. The next critical stage would be, as he was saying, that putting the thing into orbit. That is the ultimate objective. And putting these satellites, even mini, micro, and big satellites, each one has to be put properly in a particular orbit, which is extremely critical for the entire project, because that is the ultimate objective. That is what you are going to do. And if at that stage there's some snag, yeah, there
Have
is
you
a
had
problem.
glitches or snags in the past at any of the stages?
You see, what happens is that particularly in year 2010, we had received two major failures. That was not a vehicle, a PSLV. We were testing a vehicle called GSLV for putting satellites up to the height of say 36,000 kilometers. So every vehicle and every stage has got certain specific engines. So when we talk of a GSLV, we require an engine called cryogenic engine. So that engine had failed. That's why those two launches had failed at that point of time. Right now, as far as our PSLV system is concerned, it's a very time-tested and a very rugged system. Like you were mentioning that we have already done 21 successful launches. Now, PSLV also comes into various variants. What happens is that when you're using a rocket to launch a satellite, that is known as a payload, the payload has got certain amount of weight categories. So today what they are launching is around 670 kg payload. Usually PSLV is capable of launching a payload of around 1.5 tons to close to 2 tons. So to have that sort of a payload out into the space, you require a rocket system which is slightly more stronger. So right now, when you're putting less amount of a payload, you require a rocket system which is should not be that stronger. So that's why this particular segment is known as a core alone segment. Okay. So in initial stage, when you put a payload of around 1.5 tons out into the space, you have got booster motors or strap-ons which are there. There are 6 strap-ons to the stage 1 only. Okay. So in a core alone configuration which has been done right now, those strap-ons are being removed. You don't require that much amount of a thrust to put the stuff out into the space. So these are the various variants. In fact, we have used PSLV to undertake our moon mission also. Okay. So there we are touching to the distances of 4 lakh kilometers to that height. So what happens is that you can put this satellite either into a polar synchronous orbit or a geosynchronous orbit also. So there are various variants of PSLV vehicle which have been there, and all of them have been successful so far.
All right, so that's the big news that we're getting at this moment. A successful launch, at least the first stage has been successful. My colleague Priyam Vadana joins us from Sriharikota. Our experts in the studio were in fact commenting about how any of the scientists would not even be able to breathe till the time it is known for sure that the complete launch has been successful. What are you experiencing, Priyam Vadana, from the people around you? What do you see?
Well, I'm at the watchtower here in Sriharikota, and we just saw the successful takeoff of the PSLV C-20. This is the 23rd flight of the PSLV. There were these anxious moments because initial time was 5:56 p.m., but it was delayed and pushed to 6:01 p.m. because there was some debris collision. So to avoid the debris collisions, it was pushed, and there was anxious moments. We could see people here cheering, and the minute it took off, it took off. There was definitely everybody felt quite relieved. Of course, it takes 5 to 6 minutes or more than that for the satellite to be placed in the orbit. But as of now, the first stage has been successful. It's been witnessed by the President of India and Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, and also, of course, the Director of ISRO, Mr. Radhakrishnan Nair. All of them are there, and now they're just waiting for it to be placed in the orbit, and after which we can call this mission to be successful. But PSLV is known as a flight which is always successful. This is the 23rd flight of the PSLV, and this particular Indo-French collaboration SARAL is going to help in the oceanographic studies. Along with this, there are six other satellites, commercial purpose satellites have also been launched. These six other satellites are from different countries like Canada, Austria, and other countries. So
Okay.
definitely anxious moments. Now we are just getting information. 10 more minutes, we will know whether it's been placed in the orbit.
All right, for now, Priyamada, thank you very much.